How you guys doing? This is Jason, back with Tuna Tech, and today I'm going to unbox a phone from a company that everyone has heard of, but no one is real familiar with. Okay, so when you think of Apple, you think of iOS, you think of the iPhone. With Android, a lot of people make Android synonymous with Samsung or Google, but there's a lot of companies that make, or manufacturers that make Android phones, and while Samsung may be the clear leader in sales, there are a lot of companies that make phones, and one of those companies is Motorola. Now you're thinking, well, Motorola makes a lot of budget phones. They do, but they also make folding phones or flipping phones, the Razr from years ago and the new Razr, which was just announced. But they also had a flagship phone, and this is this right here. This is the Motorola Edge Plus for 2023. Now, it says 2023 right there embossed, so you can see this is a new version. They only have one real version of this. It comes in black, and it starts at $799. And for $799, you're getting 512 gigabytes of internal storage and 8 gigs of RAM. Now, before you go out and say, oh my God, only 8 gigs of RAM. Look, this is an Android issue. I don't really care about the memory. 8 gigs is plenty for me. Most flagships, I understand, come with 12 or more nowadays with the Android side, but still, 8 gigs of RAM should be enough. Now, I'm gonna unbox this, but I've had it for about a week, and I've been playing with it, and I couldn't wait. So, while the unboxing, everything's in there, I've already been messing with it, and I have used it on AT&T. I did get 5G, as well as T-Mobile. I had a T-Mobile SIM card in this, and it did get 5G. So again, it's $799 on their website. I'm sure Amazon, Best Buy, other retailers will sell this device as well. So box is pretty unassuming. You can tell I kind of tore it up a little bit, but basically black box with an embossed Edge Plus with the Motorola symbol right there on top. Right when you open it, the phone is right on top. And I'm gonna put this off to the side. Talk a little bit about that a little bit later. Now, you pull this up, and inside here, I was kind of hoping it came with a case, but it did not come with a case. But in here, this is why I thought it came with a case. You open it up, and inside this box is just your, meet your Motorola Edge and some, legal mumbo jumbo. But it does come with a charger, and it is a, if I can get this out of here, 68 watt charger, and including with that, you also get the charging cable. So you get a charging cable, charging brick, SIM ejection tool, and the phone. No case, not gonna cry over spilt milk. A lot of these more known brands, not Apple and Samsung, sometimes even some of the budget companies, but send them with a clear case just because they know their phones aren't gonna be as popular as some Samsungs and Apples. So they include a case for that reason. So let's get to that. This is the phone. Now, it's very shiny. It's all black. But what's interesting about this is it is a curved screen, and it is a, I want to say it's 2400 by 1080, so it's Full HD plus. It's 165 hertz refresh rate. It's a POLED, HDR10 plus, 10-bit Dolby Vision, and the touch rate is 360 hertz, peak brightness of 1300 nits. So it's a good screen. Is it 2K, 3K, whatever? No, but this screen is phenomenal for what it is. One thing I did realize when I grabbed it in my hand is it reminds me of the Sony's. It's kind of tall and thin, so it's kind of in one of those strange aspect ratios, but it doesn't feel terrible. So it's got an on-screen fingerprint reader, which is right down here. It's a little lower than I'd like, but it's down here lower. It does have face unlock, Think Shield, Moto Secure. It does have that Ready For, which is kind of like the Samsung DeX. I did realize that this also has wireless version of that, so that's interesting. It does 68 watts of TurboPower is what they call it, or wire charging, and 15 watts wireless, 5 watts power sharing. The screen is 6.7 inches. It's got a USB Type-C, which is 3.2, so it does have video out. It's IP68 rated. It's got 3 cameras on the back here. I'll kind of go a little closer here. Rear camera, first rear camera is 50 megapixels. It's got an f 1.8 aperture and optical image stabilization. It's got a 50 megapixel ultra wide, which is 114 degrees, and it also doubles as a macro camera, f2.2. And then it's got a 12 megapixel 2x telephoto with a 1.6 aperture. On the front is a camera hole right there. That camera is a 60 megapixel f2.2 aperture camera, and it's got dual stereo speakers tuned by Dolby Atmos. So I'm gonna power it on. I've already got some stuff in here. I probably won't get too much into it just because of my personal information on it. But like I said, it's 165 hertz refresh rate. I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but I felt like it's, at least through the menus and opening apps, it's super smooth. It's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, so you know it's gonna be quick, power efficient. It has all the bells and whistles that a Motorola would have, which is like chop to turn the flashlight on if you're used to that kind of stuff. And it kind of walks you through some of that, and it does cover that Think Shield, or, you know, they had the Think phone. So I don't know how much different these two phones are, but as you can see, there's the screen, and you can swipe it. And then it does have fingerprint. I'm gonna pull off here and do that. So as you can see, when you opens up pretty quickly. I got some weather widgets here that tend to cuss, so I'm not gonna get too far into that, but it does have its the Motorola gestures and all that stuff. So when you walk through that, it tells you how to, you know, sidebar, system navigation, one-handed mode, put to sleep, jump to 3-finger screenshot, so you can put 3 fingers and swipe down for a screenshot. You know, you got the, and I can do this now, you can chop and it turns the flashlight on, you can chop again and it turns it off. Some of these things are pretty known if you're an Motorola user, but like I said, Motorola's been around for a while and they make really decent phones. They just now are getting back into this flagship phone. So this is not a review. The phone is fantastic. Cameras are good. From the part, I'm not going to post any pictures yet. I'm still kind of messing with it. The zoom wasn't stellar. Most of the pictures have been pretty decent. I wouldn't say they're Pixel-esque, but they're definitely on par with, you know, a flagship phone. They're really good. Here's the problem with this phone. It is a fantastic phone, but it does not separate itself from any other of the flagships. And if you're an Android, if you're a general consumer who isn't real familiar with a lot of phone companies, you're going to walk into your mobile carrier and say, I want an iPhone, or I want a Samsung, or I want a Google, because you know the marketing. These aren't marketed very well. There's not a lot of advertisement, but, you know, I mean, just if you can hear that, that's like it's like a sandstone, kind of like a OnePlus-esque back. And in the light, and I posted a picture on my Twitter, when certain light hits this thing, it like kind of sparkles. It's really interesting. But all this stuff equals up to, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a flagship killer, but it's definitely a flagship phone. And the sad part about it is it's just overshadowed by all the other phones coming out. You know, you have Razr itself from Motorola. That's a flip phone that has a huge cover screen. You got the iPhone 15 around the corner, the Pixel 8 coming out. Apple has a upcoming WWDC, which is actually today, the day I'm filming this, when they're going to release maybe some new devices. So it's a great phone. I think if it would have started at $699 instead of $799, it may have sold more, but still, I think it's just the situation that Motorola is in right now. It's a fantastic phone, and if I was going to give this to anybody or recommend this to anybody, I recommend it to anybody because it's a good phone. It's cheaper than the S23 Ultra, and it's probably about equal to the 7 Pro. The only real downside to all this is software updates. They've guaranteed, you know, on par with most of the other manufacturers, but are they going to stick to it? So this is Jason. This has been an unboxing and a first quick look at the Edge Plus 2023. Leave a comment in the description below. We'll catch you next time.